Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Games. My name is Jason,
Hey, this is Alex.
and today we are going to talk about both Metroid and Donkey Kong, who are both having an anniversary this year. So, before we get started, I just want to say if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment if you want, whether it's a good comment or bad comment, that's fine. Follow us on Twitter at GM Games Podcast and send us an email at goodmorninggamespodcast@gmail.com. So, like I mentioned, today we're going to just talk about both Metroid and Donkey Kong, who are having anniversaries. Metroid's is the 35th and Donkey Kong's is the 40th. So, with both of these, because of Mario having the 35th celebration, and then we're all expecting Zelda to have a 35th celebration, I don't think either of us really think that these two series are going to have a big celebration, but just kind of talking about it, we are expecting something from these games. So we kind of went above and beyond and just kind of wrote down some games we would like to see from both these series. So first, we're going to start with Metroid. Alex, if you just want to kind of start this off.
Yeah, for sure. So Metroid, there's been a lot of rumors about a new 2D Metroid coming to the Switch. It seems like it's been at least 2 years now that we've been hearing about it here and there, and we haven't seen any footage or anything from Nintendo. But the last Metroid game we got was in 2017, and that was Metroid Samus Returns, and that was developed by Mercury Steam and Nintendo. And it's highly likely that Mercury Steam just went straight into working on whatever this new Switch game is after they finished Samus Returns. So, and a little bit of backstory on that. Mercury Steam actually pitched a Metroid Fusion remake to Nintendo years ago. I think it was going to be for the Wii U, and that project got turned down. But the creator of Metroid was really impressed with what they put together, so that's why they were invited back to work on Samus Returns. And it's highly likely that they are hard at work now on this new 2D one. And looking at Mercury Steam's release calendar, they've consistently released a game about every 3 years for the past, 15 years or 16 years or so. And like I said, the last one was in 2017. So we should be getting something from them any day now, honestly.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a lot. There have been a ton of rumors about a new 2D Metroid, and I think both of us would agree that's probably the most likely thing that we're going to see this year. Um, and so, yeah, I guess, do you have any kind of going off that? Do you have any thoughts about what it could be, or any ideas of any gameplay or anything like that?
I expect it to be a wholly original game. I don't expect this to be another Metroid remake. We've gotten a lot of those. But if they did a remake, I'd be like okay with that. If they did a Super Metroid remake, that would be amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, I kind of expect it to be an original. Again, they haven't said anything, so it's just speculation at this point. But yeah, I kind of expect it to be original.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. And kind of when I was thinking about that, I'm kind of hoping for, um, you know, they haven't done one in so long that it would be fine to go kind of down the same route. But I was kind of thinking it'd be cool to do some new environments in like a new 2D. Um, a lot of the Metroids are kind of the same. Well, Prime's a little different, but the 2D ones are all kind of the same. Like, inside, like, I don't know, I guess I'm thinking more outside environments. It'd be really cool if there was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just like more uh, obviously it's way in like the future, so who knows if these things even exist, but just, I don't know, I think it'd be cool to be in like fire, or in like outside, or in forest areas, things like that would be cool.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. There was some outdoor stuff in the Prime
Yeah.
series, but yeah, in these 2D ones, I think Samus Returns was completely. It's been a few years since I played it, but yeah, I think that was all inside. So yeah, I agree. That would be cool to see.
Cool. And then, yeah, just kind of going off what you just mentioned with Samus Returns, I think we were both a little bit surprised that I think it came out right around when the Switch came out, or maybe a little after the Switch came out. I could be wrong, or
It
before,
it
but
came out in September 2017. So
okay. So
yeah,
yeah, so that's a little surprising to me that it went there. I mean, obviously they probably have been creating it for the 3DS, but I was kind of thinking it would be cool to see an HD upscale of that on the Switch. I mean, now at this point, I think that everyone would prefer the new 2D, but
Yeah.
it'd be cool to see even down the line. It's just an HD upscale of Samus Returns. I'm pretty surprised we never got that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess if the theory is right that Mercury Steam just went straight to work on a new 2D Metroid, I guess the problem would have been like who could work on a port to the Switch of that game. So maybe they just didn't have anyone to do it. But yeah, I kind of agree that we should have gotten like, how are you going to release a new console and then the first new Metroid game in so long? Oh, straight to 3DS, no port.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just kind of sucked. Nothing against
Yeah.
the 3DS. It's just wanted it on the Switch.
Yeah, definitely. Some other things I was thinking of. Okay, I guess another one we can go into is another highly rumored thing is the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD. I think everyone is
Yeah.
expecting that at this point. When do you think we're going to see that?
I think it comes down to when they have a solid release date for Prime 4 in mind, and then they backtrack like 1 year exactly, and then they drop it just to get people hyped up for Prime again. I mean, that's just a theory. It seems like marketing plays a huge role in everything Nintendo does, which makes perfect sense. It's a business, so yeah, I think the game's done. I think they have it done. Like Nintendo's kind of notorious for just sitting on games for a year and a half, 2 years, whatever, to release when it makes sense. I think Pikmin 3 they probably had, or Pikmin 3 Deluxe they just sat on for a while. Super Mario Wii U Deluxe, probably some other ones too. But this Prime trilogy, I mean, for God's sake, been talking about it since the Switch launched, I think, and at least since Prime 4 was announced with the logo.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it would have been 2018 Game Awards. So like December of 2018. That was when like everyone thought it was going to be announced. Like even like really big like sources and people who are very trustworthy were saying they heard it was going to be announced at the Game Awards, and then it just never happened. So right after that was when they announced Prime 4 was delayed, like January or February, right after that. So I'm assuming it was planned on being announced then, and then that was kind of around when they decided to restart. So the thing. So I agree with you. I think it's probably going to be about a year out from whenever Prime 4 is, and I get that because with the way the marketing, you want to have like a year. You don't want to give it too long because they also, the thing with like they released Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Switch, and now it's like years later and they haven't had Bayonetta 3. But the thing is, like, I'm gonna want to play all three of them, and I almost wish it was a little more out. Like, give me like a year and a half,
It
2
could
years.
be. Yeah, it could be.
I don't know, but yeah. So I'm really excited for that. I mentioned on the last podcast I was about to start playing Metroid Prime, and then I was like, I can't. I gotta wait for it to be HD. So I played it for about 30 minutes, and then was like, no, stop.
completely unrelated to that. That just got me thinking. There's been so many. This was not on our podcast agenda, but there's been so many rumors about Pikmin 4, and everyone thought they were going to do something like that with Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So maybe we'll hear something about Pikmin 4 soon, because that was released last November.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Well, that we could test the theory that we're talking about now with Pikmin, see how long it takes for that to come out. But
kind of back to a lot of our other conversations, we've talked about other systems coming online. So if the GBA came to Nintendo Switch Online, that does have both Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission, which was a remake of the first Metroid.
Yeah.
Those are both on GBA, so I'd take that.
Those are amazing games. Yeah. That at least one of those has to be in the initial lineup of GBA games if they drop that onto the Switch Online, for sure.
Yes, so that would be awesome. So then besides that, do you have any other things that you're thinking about with Metroid?
Not really. I mean, some people are saying like the 2D thing or the Prime trilogy, it's going to be one or the other that we get this year. Like I said, I kind of feel like that Prime trilogy is going to just be held on to until the right
Yeah.
time. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to drop that 2 years ahead of Prime 4's release, but
Yeah.
I don't think anything else is coming. I don't think Metroid's going to get like a Metroid 35 game or a Game and Watch or anything like that. It feels like, and I don't even know if this 2D game would be a tie-in to the Metroid anniversary at
Yeah.
all. It feels like it was in development long before any sort of planned anniversary for it. So
Yeah. I think if they did announce it, the only tie-in is, I bet, if it comes this year, when they announce it, they'll just say something about like, oh, it's Metroid's 35th anniversary, and guess what's coming. But
yeah,
not like it was planned with it.
yeah,
Yeah, I also don't think so. I did write down it'd be cool if they did some sort of like online thing with Metroid, like almost like a. I mean, I wrote down some sort of almost like a multiplayer like shooter type thing, but the thing is they couldn't announce that without announcing other things. Otherwise people would just be pissed, like
yeah.
all we get is a multiplayer like shooter thing. So that would be cool. But so the only thing I wrote down besides this, of just something I made up, was I think it would be awesome if we at some point, anytime in the future, it'd be really cool to see a uh Metroid game that was about the origin story, because in the timeline, the very first Metroid game is the first in the timeline, and that Samus was already the best bounty hunter in like the and of all the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
And so I like looked up just like her story, and just a little paragraph says, the daughter of Rodney Iran and Virginia Iran, Samus lost her parents during a space pirate.
Rodney?
Yep, Rodney and Virginia. She lost her parents during a space pirate raid on her home. Later, Samus was adopted by the Chozo and taken to Zebes, where she was infused with their DNA and raised to become a warrior.
Hell yeah.
Once she reached adulthood, Samus joined the Federation Police. So I think it'd be sweet if there was a game of like her like becoming what she is, just like becoming an awesome bounty hunter.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'd be into that. Maybe that's what the new 2D is.
Yeah, that'd be great. So with that, we can kind of move on. So the next thing is Donkey Kong, which is now celebrating its 40th anniversary, and same with this. I think we both kind of agree. We're not expecting a ton, but yeah, we want to maybe talk about some things that you would like to see.
For sure. One thing I just want to mention is that it's crazy that Retro Studios has their hand on both of these franchises. They're doing Prime 4 right now. They did the Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze games, which I love. I expect there to be a third in that modern Donkey Kong Country series. I just don't know who's making it, because if it was retro, that means their development time on it was, I mean, I guess they could have finished it, honestly, between, if that was their game. The rumor was that they were working on a new action game. I don't know if it was a first person shooter or what, after Tropical Freeze. So there's nothing pointing to them making a third. So if there is a third in this series, I don't know who's making it, but it feels like there should be one. So
for some reason, I'll have to look this up. For some reason, I thought that there was some job posting like a year or 2 years ago or something for like a platformer designer or something, because I remember that's when people were thinking, oh, they're making another Donkey Kong. But that's all. That's it. That's the only thing I'm basing that off of, which that could mean nothing.
yeah, who knows? There's something. All right, so about Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong is like their first like big success, right, in the arcades. It like changed arcades, changed Nintendo. It's Shigeru Miyamoto's like baby, basically, like first massive creation. And Donkey Kong has had the craziest games. Like
Yeah.
there is no main, like people say mainline Donkey Kong game, and I know they're referring to Donkey Kong Country, but I just feel like he's been in so many different games that there really is no mainline Donkey Kong like game.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've done puzzle platformers and the platformer games and the original arcade games and music games, and there's just racing games. There's so much different stuff that he's done. Like if they bring a Donkey Kong game out now that's not a third in the modern country series, I have no, like there's no way to know what it is.
Yeah, before I got on here, I was looking up like a man. I wish I had it up here right now. I was looking up it was like ranking of all of the Donkey Kong games, and it was like almost 30 games, and like looking through them, they were all so different from each other. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, 25. There's 25, and they're like all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's like even the top 10 is like none of the you would think like, oh, they're top 10 best ones, they're probably going to be all in that Donkey Kong Country series, but they're like not. It's so I don't know, they're just all over the place, which is cool. I mean,
Yeah. None of them are, well, I don't know. I was about to say none of them are really that bad, but some of them are pretty bad.
I never played I never played the
Donkey
drum
Konga.
one. Yeah.
I had Donkey Konga. I didn't have the sequel to it, but it was fun for a while. Like it wasn't that bad. And then
Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on the GameCube, on whatever list I'm looking at right now, is the number 7 best Donkey Kong game.
yeah,
So,
apparently that one's sick. I haven't tried it though.
yeah.
The one that I really want to see make a return in some way is DK King of Swing, just because the art style was only used in one game. It was a puzzle platformer on GBA, and it's like this really awesome cartoony art style that we had never seen before for Donkey Kong. And then when they did the sequel to King of Swing, which I think was called
Jungle Climber.
DK Jungle Climber. Yeah, I think that's
Mhm.
it. The DS game. They just completely changed the art style back to like the not cartoony pixel look, more the country look. But yeah, I would like to see those games come back. I would also like to see Mario versus Donkey Kong come back because that was a really fun series too. It's been dead for a while.
Yeah, I kind of thought it'd be cool to see a modernized of like the OG Donkey Kong game. It'd be cool to see like that in current, like a remake of current graphics, even if it was like a $10 eShop thing. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. If they do so we said this on another pod, but Donkey Kong, the original arcade game, is a perfect fit for the battle royales they've been doing. If they did a Donkey Kong 40 or Donkey Kong 99, whatever you want to call it, that's a perfect fit. That I hope that they realize that.
Yeah, and we said this as well. I could totally see that, and I also could totally see them doing that and that being it, and
Yeah.
that would be enough.
Yeah, and I kind of agree. I feel like with Zelda 35 going on, like I hope they just go crazy with that, and then with DK they could just do like, yeah, Donkey Kong 40, and I'd be like, that's cool. This is really fun. I love that arcade game, so I would play the hell out of that. But
Yeah. So I know you are a huge fan of Diddy Kong Racing. You think
Oh,
there's any
yeah.
chance we get a second one of those?
I'm God, probably not, but uh, I'm gonna constantly hold out hope for a new Diddy Kong or a remake of Diddy Kong. That adventure racing genre just underutilized completely and
So much.
deserves more attention.
Yeah, I am praying that either we get another Diddy Kong Racing or the next Mario Kart is like that. I just having an adventure racing game is awesome and so underutilized, like you said.
Yeah, if they do re-release Diddy Kong Racing, I think it would have to be the DS version, right? Because of all the stuff with Rare,
Oh yeah,
which isn't quite as good, but I would take it.
yeah. Um. So with that, I mean, Did you like the Donkey Kong 64?
Yeah. I didn't 100% it or anything because you got to be pretty
There was a
dedicated.
ton of
Yeah,
collectibles, I remember.
pretty dedicated to do all that. But um, yeah, I liked it. I remember it came out. I think it came out like right when I got a PS2 also.
Hmm.
So, I was like whatever 12 years old and I was like, why would I play my old Nintendo? I got my
Yeah,
new
yeah, yeah.
PS2, but I did eventually go back and play it and I remember it being fun because I was a huge fan of Banjo-Kazooie and those 3D
Yeah.
platformers. So, I did enjoy it. And I thought the characters that they introduced for that game were pretty cool. I would definitely play it again if they
And they were
did
all
a
super different. Like they had different, like the way they moved was all really different, I remember.
yeah. Yeah, they each served a purpose.
Yeah. The only reason I bring that up is because I feel like, so I really liked it when it came out. I haven't touched it since whatever. I was probably like in fourth or fifth grade, but
Yeah.
so I could have been just an idiot. But I, I loved it, and like I feel like all I hear for the last like 10 years, it kind of gets trashed on, and so I was like, before we started this, I was looking into like it got really good reviews. Like it
Mhm.
has like on Metacritic, it's pretty high, and so I don't know. I guess I don't remember it enough, and I haven't replayed it enough. But I would be cool with them doing another 3D Donkey Kong. Is really all I was getting at.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Odyssey.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that game's fun. I'd give it like an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10 probably. Like it's not a masterpiece, but it's a really great 3D platformer and
Hmm.
um yeah, I don't know.
So I have a Donkey Kong out there idea. So I have an idea for a Donkey Kong game that I think would be sweet. I don't expect it to happen, but how about a completely jungle based? Obviously, environments change, but how about a Donkey Kong Metroidvania? So it's 2D, but instead of getting new power ups like to progress through the world and get to other, how a Metroidvania would work,
Hmm.
you're getting other Kongs who have like now you can swap with Diddy Kong who can get higher because he can like shoot his rockets up and stuff like that.
That's sick.
Um, I think that'd be really fun. I don't know. I just because they've done so many things with Donkey Kong, I think that'd be a cool way, and it could be super platformy based and just like the 2D ones, just all one seamless thing. That'd be sweet.
That sounds really fun. If they did that, people would be like, "What on earth?" Like,
Yeah.
I think that would get a really good response. A Donkey Kong Metroidvania.
Because there's not that many like Metroidvanias that are like jungle based. I can't think of. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, not that I could think of. Yeah, I hope they do. I mean, like I said, I think the next DK game is going to be a third in that country series, but I really would love for Nintendo to kind of surprise everybody with another 15th new take on a Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, I think they could probably get about one. They could do one more 2D before people are like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
Like, because like with Mario, that it's like I personally think like what's next? Like if they do another 2D, it's got to be way different.
Yeah.
I think DK's still got one more left in them before people are like, all right, we got to do something different. So
Yeah. I agree.
just because Tropical Freeze was amazing.
Yeah. It's a really good game. And I played it the other day. It's still great. And even the old ones, I played Donkey Kong Country 3 a few months ago and holds up. Still an amazing game. Like
Yeah.
they're so good. But yeah. How about this retro? Since you've done Metroid and Donkey Kong, just make Donkey Kong Prime, Donkey Kong Metroid crossover, Kong's in space,
Yeah.
first person adventure, coconut gun.
First person Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Kind of be awesome.
it was a coconut gun, right? That Donkey Kong had
Yeah, yeah.
in DK64. Yeah, okay, DK Prime. Just go ahead and do that. That should be
Just go ahead
fun.
and do that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Any other thoughts on Donkey Kong?
No, just that I really love that series, and I hope that we get some fun, at least a mention, like of this 40th anniversary. Like if you're gonna, I don't know, blow up Zelda, like you gotta at least throw DK a bone. You gotta give him
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it's really underutilized, which I mean, so is Metroid. Both of those two. It's kind of crazy. It like Nintendo's four pillars. I feel like have always been were Zelda, Mario, Metroid, and DK, and I just feel like Mario and Zelda have kind of taken over. Which I don't have a problem with that, but
Yeah, and sorry, I cut you off.
no, you're good.
And I would say DK and Metroid have been replaced by Animal Crossing and Splatoon.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
are
that's
their
true.
their new. I mean, look at Mario Kart 8. Like the other racers they chose to put in that game were the Inklings, Isabelle, Villager, and Link.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess DK is already in it, but because he's part of the Mario universe, but they never put Diddy Kong in that game.
they never put Samus.
They never put Samus. Yeah.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, they threw in their biggest. There was some other promotional art Nintendo had as well, where the banner was like Mario, Link, Isabelle, Inkling kids. So I think those four are like their main franchises now. And DK, I mean, Metroid's never really been a big seller, but
Yeah,
also nothing like everything that releases on the Switch sells like crazy. So
Yeah.
just give it a shot. Like same with F-Zero. Like put these games, these franchises that even if there is a small fan base for them, it's going on the Switch, which Astral Chain sold like over 1 million copies. Like ARMS did well.
and Fire Emblem Three Houses is like
Exploded.
so exploded, and that game's awesome. But to sell a tactical RPG and for it to be that big, that's like hard to do.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy that I feel like if they just whatever the next Metroid is, if they promote it right, it can be huge.
Yeah, I agree. It could definitely
Especially with the name, which still carries weight. Even like kids who have never played a Metroid, they probably act like they know what they've played Metroid and things like that, just because it holds weight.
I feel like also Nintendo is trying to put Metroid back in people's minds. Like when they, this would have been before Prime 4 got delayed, but when they had the deal to bring Rocket League to the Switch, and they had the 2 exclusive Mario Brothers cars, but then the third car was a Samus gunship themed car. It was like, that's kind of out of nowhere. There's no Metroid game out there, and why are they like, I don't know. It was kind of a cool unexpected choice. And then more recently in Paper Mario the Origami King,
that trailer.
The trailer, they showed a paper mache hat that was Samus's helmet that Mario wore. And it was like, okay, these are fun little Metroid teases.
Yeah. And they clearly know, even if they don't expect it to be a huge seller, they know how much it like means to people, or they wouldn't have done that whole put on YouTube that we're starting over development. I mean, I understand why they did, but I honestly feel like if it was like a lesser series, they wouldn't have felt the need to do that. They just know it's important to people.
I agree. Yeah. People are stoked for Prime 4.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get that 2D. Not to keep repeating myself, but I think that 2D one's coming this fall, like October, and we're going to see
I think so
some
too.
pretty incredible sales for it.
Yeah. Even if it's like not, I mean, I'm not expecting it to be as big as like, Mario or Zelda or anything, but even if it's just like
it's 5 million.
Yeah. I mean, that's still great. If it does as well as like the Paper Mario did, I don't know how that did, but stuff like that. I mean, that's awesome.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, anything else?
No. I guess not.
All right, cool.
Two really awesome franchises. Show them some love, Nintendo.
Yeah, show them some love. Thank you guys for listening. And again, follow us at GM Games Podcast on Twitter, or send us an email at goodmorninggamespodcast@gmail.com. You can ask us questions or give us some topics you want us to talk about. And make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you so much for listening.
We'll see you.
See ya.